York Region is a diverse global village made up of people of various backgrounds and languages. Between 2006 and 2011, York Region was the fastest growing area in Ontario. In 2011, York Region had a population of over 1 million people. It's expected to have 1.5 million residents by 2031. What would we look like if we were a village of only 100 people? 3/4 of York Region's villagers live in the 3 southern municipalities of Markham, Vaughan, and Richmond Hill. 29 of us live in Markham, 28 live in Vaughan, and 18 live in Richmond Hill. Although only 4 of us live in Witchert-Stouffville, it's the fastest growing community in our village with a growth rate of 54%. "51 of us are women and 49 of us are men. About 1/3 of the villagers are under the age of 25. Over half of the villagers are of working age between the ages of 25 and 64. Like other areas in Canada, York Region has a rapidly aging population. For the first time, the number of residents retiring is almost the same as those entering the workforce. By 2031, the senior population is expected to grow by 148%. 91 villagers live with their family, which is higher than the average for Ontario and Canada. 47 villagers are married, 24 are single, 6 are separated or divorced, and 4 are widowed. Only 4 villagers live alone, a proportion much lower than the rest of Ontario and Canada. York Region villagers have diverse religious backgrounds, with most being Christians. 6 identify themselves as Jewish, 6 as Muslim, and 5 as Hindu. York Region has higher proportions of residents identifying themselves as Jewish, Muslim, and Hindu compared to the rest of the country. Although many of our villagers are born in other countries, 92 are Canadian citizens. York Region is diverse in culture and ethnicity. 43 villagers identify themselves as a visible minority. This is more than double the average in Canada. Chinese and South Asian are the largest visible minority groups in our village. York Region has the 3rd highest proportion of immigrants in Canada, closely behind Peel Region and the City of Toronto. Almost half, or 45 villagers, have immigrant status and were born outside of Canada. The majority of our immigrant villagers live in Markham, Vaughan, and Richmond Hill. More than half of the 45 immigrant villagers were born in Asia, and about 1/4 were born in Europe. Of the immigrant villagers, 5 had come to Canada in the last 5 years. The largest proportion of these recent immigrants are from China, including Hong Kong. Even with our diversity, most villagers know English. Although only 5 villagers report not knowing either English or French, this is twice as high as in other places in Canada. Senior villagers are less likely to know English and French, with 18% not speaking either official language. Diversity in York Region is also reflected by the many different languages spoken by our villagers. Although 71 villagers speak English most often at home, 29 speak a non-official language. For example, 12 speak Chinese and 3 speak Russian. Over half of the villagers are of working age, with 27 of us being between the ages of 25 and 44, and 29 are between the ages of 45 and 64. York Region working age villagers are well educated. 39 of the 56 villagers have post-secondary qualifications, including trade certificates, college diplomas, and university certificates below or above the bachelor level. Among those with post-secondary education, 30% studied outside of Canada. Among the working age villagers, 46 are in the workforce, with 44 being employed. Of those who work, 38 work for someone else, and 6 are self-employed. Self-employment is more common among seniors, with 31% being self-employed. Our employed villagers work in a wide range of occupations, with the top 3 areas being business, finance or administration, sales or services, and management. These are also the top 3 occupations for older workers aged 55 and older. York Region working age residents are more likely to drive to work than the rest of Canada. 33 working age villagers drive to work by themselves. Of the 40 commuters who travel to work, 17 spend less than a half hour one way, 16 spend half an hour to an hour, and 7 spend more than an hour. 81% of commuters who leave York Region travel to the City of Toronto for work. York Region is a diverse, global village made up of many different types of people of various backgrounds and languages. Knowing more about our village means that we can adapt to changing needs and continue to enjoy a high quality of life, gaining the benefits of living in this global village. For more information about who lives in York Region, please visit york.ca/village.